YouTube. This is Dr. Wanda.
And Gia.
And
Isaac Agosi.
so this is a first. This is a first that all three of us are actually doing the show together. We're on screen together. I shared with Isaac and Gia the show that I did yesterday about the basically just the tension, the tornness that I have about returning to the U.S. And so I felt like each one of them should have an opportunity to give their perspective on this issue, and they agree. Y'all agree?
Yeah.
Okay, so where do we start in this discussion?
Well, like you said, for me, it is far safer to be in Ghana than to go to the US. You may have made some things in the US that you would like to kind of, but on the
It's not just about safety.
Yeah, on the safer side, I think with this coronavirus and the way the Delta virus or the Delta variant, now in the US and other places, I think.
So you start at virus. You start at safety and security.
Yes.
What does it mean that I've been here almost a year with you?
Yeah, well, I don't get it by the whole start off with safety.
Yeah.
I would start off like, am I going to ruckus?
Yeah.
Am I gonna miss? Or like, do I feel like I should I stay? Should I go?
Yeah. Well, what do you feel?
Is it worth it?
What do you feel?
I feel like it's not. It's kind of worth it, but not worth it because you're gonna be there. Like you always tell me, you're gonna be there like few days, and you're gonna be happy. You're gonna see grandma.
A couple of months.
Cats. Yeah. And then you're gonna start to feel, sick. I want to go back. I wish I wasn't here. It gets boring. I mean, I do sometimes miss like you cooking.
And I've started cooking more to help with that too here.
Yeah. And I've also missed the cats. Like
I miss my
Mitty
cats.
and Mittens. Like and like Spike. No, Spike and like Spike.
Spike and like Spike.
I miss, including Grandma.
And Daisy. Yeah, we definitely miss Grandma.
And I wish she would change her mind and come to Ghana. If she decide to change her mind tomorrow and decide to come to Ghana, that would be so. Because I haven't think. Well, this is what I think. Like, if I went through my visa process and I'm able to go with you, I think with this the issue now at hand, like the coronavirus thing, you are not going to be what you used to. You're not going to do what you used to do. Going out here and there, going to parks and all those things, you're not going to do them. So you will be at home. So like me traveling with you, and it's like I'm always at home until when?
Well, that's the reality that G and I have to face. Okay, we're active and we move about in this country freely, in the cities freely. We go and shop. We go enjoy the beach. We go and do all the things that we want to do, really.
Yeah.
But we also understand going back to the U.S., even though they've started the process of opening it up, it's filled with setbacks. I mean, people are still, if they're smart, because of the Delta variant that you're talking about, they are still masked up.
I personally,
and they're still washing their hands.
I personally know friends in the U.S. I was showing you a video yesterday of a friend that, I would say a friend on Facebook, and she is going through a whole lot because of and
he believes that she has caught corona. She was or COVID, and she was someone that was sort of a conspiracy theorist around it. And so he shared some of her. She was never anti-protection.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was.
That. She was an extremist, but she was just like saying, "Hey, look, But and much of what she put up about shots and people who are catching it or not catching it, they're all things that we've all thought, if we're honest about it. So, and I also told him, I said, you don't know her practices. You don't know where she was relaxed at. You don't know what her job is like. You don't know if she has a practice of going into dense areas. You don't know, so we don't know what happened. And then he doesn't know her diet. What was some pre-existing issues with her, and then how is she managing her diet? So we don't know. But she is in the hospital and she is on oxygen, and it is a sort of a reality check of sorts, because G and I, when we have to go out, we do wear masks, we do wash our hands, we do all the precautionary things that they ask you to do. But I don't know. We are comfortable in Ghana, and we're really not quite worried about COVID that way because the numbers in Africa from day one have always been low.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I don't want this to be about being scared to go because of COVID.
No. What I mean, I wouldn't run away from my home country because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I would go back. I mean, I still have friends, school, pets, grandma.
Is your school open?
Her school is open. In fact, they did a model where there's a couple of days that you're there, and they did a different kind of structuring with the seats and sort of a half a day model. But the issue is, for me with her here, is we're not dealing with microaggression, we're not dealing with bullying, we're not dealing with students that aggravate the teacher and the teacher consuming time managing bad behavior. I do like that African schools are relatively safe. She has to deal with the concept of caning, but even if I wanted to have her skip that, that's just a question of me deciding to pay for a private school to send her to, where that's not necessarily the flavor of the day. She knows my opinion about that. Like, I'm not purposely putting her in a school where she can be disciplined, but I also come from a country where discipline is so low that youth are just running rampant, and so I'm somewhere in the middle, and that's just how it's going to be. Like, I believe that you learn to self-regulate, you learn proper self-control. It's just things that don't most times come your way. Things have gotten better for you, haven't they?
Yeah. But sometimes I just have dreams or visions of grandma or walking into my room, and it just disturbs me. Like, should I go back? Should I stay?
It was suggested to me. Some of the people who listened to my show yesterday said, it's not a bad thing. Like, Africa fits me. It's not a bad thing for me to visit and then to go back to the U.S. with the mindset of returning back to Africa. I had some beautiful people suggest some options for me in terms of income, and I'm gonna actually take some effort and reach back to them around that. But it was a lot of positive encouragement. There was no one who just said to me, "Look, get your butt home." I even had somebody just write me and tell me, you know what? I just listened to your show. I would not return at this moment. This is not the time to come back yet. So, but it sounds like the fact that we're having some tornness about it is not the end of the world. But maybe we're in the healthiest place we should be. Now, I did share with the people about my income. I did share with them that I'm going into a country where, I don't have a class, I don't have a steady income, and so the other gig work I've done, Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, elder care, all these low-paying jobs, I just don't want to do it. Like, I'm just done with it. And the others I don't want to do because now that the world has gotten used to this like ride share stuff, they've just gotten evil with it. Doing everything from carjacking to robbing to raping. We've had some over the top things happen, and I don't want to put strangers in my car anymore. I just don't want to do that. So that's where I'm at, Isaac.
Yeah.
I all that DoorDash stuff. Yeah, I get you on that one.
Yeah.
People at your car.
That's going up to the stranger's house.
Yeah, even when we were not in this situation, then when you told me about this dog, a lot of time I would be sleeping. I was like, wow, is she going to,
I'm an American girl. I'm a black girl. Black girls, we fight
is she
for.
going to drive to this stranger's house?
Yes, we're going to drive to the stranger's house and drop off their food that they ordered. Yes, that's the world we're living in, where you you can do that job and come up with some extra income and have a little bit of control over your life. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. This was one thing I didn't even share with the viewers yesterday is that part of the issue with me as a professor um, is that when we don't get a class, we're not fired and we're not laid off. So we're not eligible for unemployment. So when I say I'm going with no stream of income, I'm going with no stream of income because I'm sure that somebody would say, well, she can just get unemployment. Actually, I'm not eligible for unemployment. It is a horrible space that they have us in, and that was part of the reason I was fighting on behalf of adjunct professors is that, like, look, at least allow us that courtesy that in between a semester, which can run like 3 to 4 months, we're still able to manage ourselves, and they don't even give us that courtesy. Now, I tested it twice. I still filed for unemployment. I just did the math to say what I was losing each week, and of course I was looking for employment. And what I got for that effort, even though I survived that period, was I ended up having to pay it all back.
Really?
Yes, I got garnished. And I even took it. I never even knew that unemployment had a judge. There's a way for you to go before a jury of one, and you can tell your story in order to have the penalty reversed. And I did all of that talking and explaining, and he and he and at the end of it, he said, "Ma'am, you have to pay it back." So not only did I get the money, but then I got hit with a penalty, and part of the penalty too was that I could not apply for unemployment. They gave me a time frame, and for me it was like 18 months. I couldn't apply for unemployment. So no, I would really be going into the middle. I'm really going into the middle of a real financial tension that's very different from anything I've felt in the past.
Well, I think that puts you in a very, very difficult situation. When you look at the U.S., the standard of living over there compared to Ghana, it is very, very expensive to live in the U.S.
It's very expensive to live in the U.S. Now, listen, he got mad at me a few weeks ago because we were just all kind of just talking, and him and the driver were talking about the U.S. and this, that, the other, and I was really discouraging him. I was like, no, you do that if you know you have a place to stay, if you know you have some food source. So you just being negative, then why even say it like that? But then now he's looking at some realities. The reality is it's expensive to live in the West. It just is. Rent, lights, gas, fuel, all of these things are expensive, especially if it's one person. So you're talking about coming with me. Mm-hmm. What is your purpose? What is the goal in your traveling with us?
Well, one thing is to see your family. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one thing. And I will, if I have to live there for stay for some months, I would like to get more knowledge in my career. Well, my fruit juice production. I would like to.
Oh, so you kind of just want to check out the competition, the landscape.
That is it. I would like to learn a whole lot from there. I know.
Because you haven't seen any other structure other than your own country.
Yeah, you see, I know Tampico is in California. Mm-hmm. Chicago, California. Yeah, Tampico is in Chicago, and Tampico is one of the biggest fruit juice producers in the world, and it would be nice to at least see what they are doing there, and for you to come and
do, like he gonna get some secret information.
Yeah, for you. No, there's no way they're gonna give you their secret, but at least for when you see,
you'll just see it.
Yeah, when you see certain things, like kind of give you an idea.
He told me about that juice. This one, it's actually not juice. It's actually juice drink, and it's
juice
nasty with a capital N.
Well,
so
but I believe there's something to learn from them. That one I always believe it. So yeah, and I've never thought of staying in the U.S. just go learn something, come back, replicate, because I believe we have a whole lot here.
And what
at
about our
home.
businesses here? What about the stuff that we're doing here? What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, amazing. We have a business that we should, work, uh, you know, work to make it a bigger uh, um, enterprise.
I love. These are words he uses that they always turn me off. Bigger enterprise. It's nice the way it is. Just work your business, and it will be whatever God is destined it to be. You always bigger enterprise, conglomerate.
No,
Conglomerate.
I always see a bigger picture of what we are doing.
But do you ever see us just good, old fashioned, strong, consistent work? Like, not big, just doing a good job at what you have.
Amazingly, we are doing well, but I see us not going to the post office to go and mail our products anymore, but we are rather shipping from Ghana in a container, 20 or 40 or whatever footer they call it.
Oh, so you're trying to have an American spot where we're sending this, we're distributing this.
Exactly. We have a place that we send them from Ghana to America, that we are not bothering post office mailing.
We're not bothering post office mailing. If anything, post office mailing is bothering us, because you got to rub the palm sometimes.
You have to go through a whole lot. What is this? What is that? And
it doesn't bother me.
So that one is doing well. I see a bigger picture, because businesses, grow. I've seen businesses that have grown through. They started small, and I see our business also.
Well, I mean, they're small and mighty.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's nice to be small and mighty, where you just cut off all the fat, and it's just what it is. Gia Boo, what do you think about the things that have been launched here?
Well,
because you've seen me launch some stuff.
I have, like your store on your store, like where you're selling all your black soaps and herbs and stuff and dresses, steaming dresses. Yes, I couldn't forget the steaming part.
Yeah.
And I mean, Wonderland's juice. I really love the mango.
I really love
That's
sour.
My favorite is the mango. I don't think we should even make Wonderland's a factory. Is that what you're saying? A factory?
Yeah, but Wonderlands will grow to be a big factory.
No! I feel like what Mom said, old fashioned, you making the juice, get it done.
That personal touch.
And make some money.
It's something nice about that.
You see, as we speak now, Wonderland's juice has a customer in Obuasi that we need to support. The Wonderland juice need to be supplied to this customer, and it is very expensive from where we are to Obuasi, so we need not just 2-3 cartons. We need a whole lot, because you go to these bus stations and they charge you more. But when you have them in bulk, you get the card that send it there.
We're not anti-bulk. We just think that's a personal touch.
That's what I'm saying. No matter what happens, we need to give this guy the juice. You see, but it's going to cost us somehow. But if, like I'm saying, if we have a factory, if we've grown to a certain stage, that we can even straight away send our juices to Obuasi, it's going to be cheaper.
What kills me with you is you'll say, if we had a factory, as if to have a factory somehow cuts costs. To have a factory, it costs, because first of all, it costs you to get the land, to have the factory or whatever. If you buy the factory, all of that for the equipment, all of that is additional cost. And that's why I am the biggest fan of Ma and Pa. Keep it simple, keep it good and quality. And of course, if you can increase, you increase. But when I hear big, what's your other word? Enterprise.
Like, no, you don't even have to do do all that.
Don't. You just gotta be good and be good all the time.
Even I could just set up a lemonade stand in front of our house and make at least come back.
You know, and that's one of the
10
sweetest
CDs.
things you've ever said. Gia was so worried about me with this whole money thing that she actually asked me. She said, "Mom, I want to sell." I said, "You want to sell?" She actually volunteered to sell. And you have to know, I love my daughter. She's a beautiful girl. She's a sweet girl. She's a lazy girl. I said, this girl wants to get out there and sell. And
Yes.
so she was
Apparently,
yeah,
yes.
she was serious because she was like, "Look, she ain't gonna be in this hardship by herself." So I know I got me a young soldier coming along. I know, but I told her, I said, "You know what? I want you to be a student. I want you to be a professional student. I got this."
Yeah, and let me add one thing too.
Okay.
You see, Wonderland juices can compete with the highest produced juices
Oh my
in the
God.
world.
Now we
That
doing-
one.
Now
yeah.
we're doing a Wonderland
We
juice
gonna get in
infomercial.
trouble.
This
No.
is more than about Wonderland juice.
Let me. You see, so like I said, Wonderland juice can compete with any. And you remember I bought a juice from the U.S. and I got sick from the whole.
I don't
US
know
and
where
I
the
got
juice
sick.
came from.
Yeah.
You broke your neck.
No, even
You saw special packaging. You
Mhm.
did not read the special packaging, which clearly said it was a juice drink.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, but there are juice drinks that sometimes
No.
I even buy.
A juice drink
Yeah.
is not 100% juice. That's
Juice.
just fact.
Mhm.
And you put your bubble lips on it, and you learned yours is quality, theirs is not.
Yeah. So it is not a bad idea, to think of having a factory one day.
No,
to
we don't
produce
think it's a
Wonderland
bad
juices.
idea,
Yeah.
Isaac. I would never even be against it. What I'm saying is, celebrate what you have now, and part of celebrating it is it's just being the best at it. It will. It's gonna get its legs how it gets its legs.
Mhm.
You don't have to. I'm dreaming of a factory. Don't just do good work, and if factory is next, you will know. You will know.
But my question is, who's paying for this factory?
Yeah, we start small by what we're doing. That is how it starts. We start small, then we have a vision that this is where we want to go. That
See,
is all.
he's using an interesting pronoun. We. He has this vision. I don't have that vision.
All right.
My visions are always very, very linear. I like to go in, figure out what I'm working on, and I like to be the absolute best I can be. I challenge my own self. I'm never competing with anybody else. I'm just always trying my best. So if his vision is strong and he backs it, and yeah, I got him, but I'm not having that vision. I've never one time went to bed and woke up and thought, yes, I hear you, Lord, factory. I've never heard it. I've never heard it. That is your vision. So to me, you're supposed to be as passionate and as serious about it. And if what you're saying is really genuinely true, it's gonna come to fruition. Nothing can stop it. Nothing can stop it. Not even the concept. Even if you think I'm cynical, my cynicism can't stop your vision that God backs you in and you feel strong about.
Yeah, that is true. I've told you before that when God is giving a whole nation a vision, He gives to one person. So I really understand.
Okay.
Yeah. So one person may have something that others may not see or may not know, but he or she has to carry that vision and fulfill it, and the others will understand. Because you started certain things that I really didn't understand. Then later on, I was like, oh wow, this is what
everything
you
I
want
start
to do.
you never
Yeah.
understand.
Ever. I mean, your whole thing is about juice. I get your juice.
What's
you like
your whole
juice.
thing about?
My whole thing about, I wanted to sit with my two favorite people to say, what are we thinking about? But you're juice.
No,
This talk was about being torn about returning
Yes.
to the U.S.
Yes, yeah.
And he brought up Juice to say, like, one of the reasons he would want to go there is to just kind of scout out
Mhm.
and see what's happening on that whole platform.
Yes.
So we get that.
But my whole thing is, I get the family, I get the Jews, I get the thinking about stuff, but don't you ever think about life?
And what is it that you want him to think about?
I want you to think about you're sitting here in this exact same body that you're sitting in here in Ghana. Do you think that's the exact same body and mind that you're gonna have over there?
You're saying is he considering how differently
Yeah,
he will feel
feel
and what how he will function and
Yes.
yeah, that is he's never traveled. He
Yeah.
he does not understand that. So, I get your question.
But like, okay, the Jews. We get your Jews. I don't really necessarily want to go and talk about people's juice because maybe they have a reason why they're making the juice like that, or maybe they might have a malfunction, or maybe the ingredients that they're putting in there is not just necessary.
He's just talking about checking out the landscape.
Well, just want to learn. What about you may even go. You may have a better product than them, but there's something that you have to learn from them. It helps, Like when we travel to the Aqua Safari, though it's in Adan and I come from Adan, I've never been there before. When I went there and I saw the environment, where we went, I had a whole lot of thoughts on my mind. Like, why should the Adan state, where I come from, thirst of water when we have this huge water body that we can drink, even if it's not treated? We can, because I tasted it. You saw me.
I saw you
Yeah.
taste it.
So
I thought you were so goofy too.
So when we were there, that gave me this thinking, like these thoughts, like, so why can't we do something? Because this water body is situated where for so many years pipe-borne water doesn't flow.
Yeah, but
in the
again,
taps of the
this
people.
for me, it's the same issue as the Jews. It's great thoughts, it's fair thoughts, and they all require a plan and action. Nothing, it's people that's been thinking about, getting to the moon for years. They still ain't went up there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's
That's true.
that's all it is thoughts.
But like I said about life,
Yes.
um,
What are you trying to say, Jill?
I'm trying.
This is what I want to believe. Like, she thinks, well, because you haven't seen the U.S. and you don't know what is happening over there.
No, that's not what she's saying.
Well,
I'm trying to talk about, like, you're talking about safety and coronavirus. I'm trying to think about life range, like living.
She's talking about everyday
living.
Yes, and so it's not focused on just juice or COVID,
No,
but waking up, having a purpose.
The juice thing is a complete, a different.
Well, you the person, you've been 15 minutes on juice.
No, I was. This is what I want you to understand.
Okay.
That we have what it takes, to make our monies here
in Ghana.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not having that struggle, and if you listen to my show yesterday, you'll know that was part of what I learned. Was like, I can be here and be okay.
Yeah.
And my promise is to my son, my firstborn, who made me promise I would be able to share with him how I could take care of myself without leaning on a man. Well, how was I going to live? And so I've proven to myself I can do that. But I'm at the end of the day, just like this is your nation, we come from the U.S. That's where we're born. So the roots there are very deep for us, and we're not America bashers. We don't go around to different nations bashing the USA. That's not what we're about either, although we tell the truth about the USA. We're just not feeling happy about returning to a country that is that unhealthy. And so she's thinking about daily living, not COVID, not juice, corporations. Just getting up and feeling happy when you look out the window and
see birds.
Yeah. Anyway.
But like
we're wrapping up. What's your
right.
final thoughts, Jibu?
My final thoughts are, I sometimes think, like, when I go back am I actually like dying in that house?
Oh.
Sometimes it seems like, I don't want to go back.
You don't want to be trapped.
I don't want to be trapped.
Yeah, that's what sometimes I think, like, you people going back. I feel you're going to be in your house for the rest of.
Yeah, but what are you gonna be if we go back? I mean, we essentially you're here by yourself. It's not as if we're trapped and you're untrapped. Like, this is an actual family. What it's not just us going back and you're in some world and you're perfect and where are you at with that? Because we're leaving something, and part of what we would be leaving if you don't get a visa is you.
Yeah.
And there's no confirmation. There's no confirmed date of when or if we could return, because you're talking about money. It costs money to get these tickets. It costs money to get the COVID shots. It costs money to get the visas, and we pay for this on our own. So it's not that simple.
That's true.
It sometimes bothers me, like, when you go back, the weight gain.
The fears of the weight gain. Yeah.
The fears of, I look so nice. You look so nice. He looks so nice. And when we go back, I don't like the way I came here. I was looking at my pictures just one day, just scrolling on my tablet, and I said, "Was this what I really look like?"
Yeah, that was what you really look like, and
it's
you
not
look
funny.
beautiful even like that. But you knew that you could be better. You could be healthier.
It's never funny because, like, there's certain things you can't do. When you run, you get tired. When you jump in, you get tired. Like, when you eat food, then you just feel like blood just falling on the bed. It's not funny. There are certain, like, I couldn't fit my shoes.
Yeah.
It was hard.
Yeah. So you like your new body?
I do.
That healthier body.
I will never want to change.
Yeah.
Never.
And that's a trial for us in the U.S. because we know the food is genetically modified. We know that it's hormone induced. We know that it's full of a lot of grease. We know that a lot of fried. We know, and we live in a food desert. So we have a beautiful home, but it is in a food desert. There's no grocery store in our community. We have to drive out of that grocery store to find a grocery store. So I don't know. Thank you for that honesty, Gia. Yeah. Anyway, YouTube, I finally got us all three on screen. I know this kind of went all over the place, but I think it's a good all over the place in the end. I'm still deciding, but yeah, the answer is slowly lifting. It's showing itself with each chat. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's never gonna be a maybe because you always tell me maybe is a slow no.
Yeah, it is a slow no and it's irritating. Mr. Agbosu, you want to sign off?
Yeah. It's nice to have the three of us together making this video, and I want us to have another one that by next week when Gia comes around.
Oh, you want to do it?
Do another show with the three of us. That's very good.
Yeah. All right, YouTube. Signing out.
Bye bye.